Just want to say fuck it and play Tiny Tina's instead.
Yes.
Alright, I'll go home so we can play and hang out.
Alright. I always hated hanging out in person anyway.
That's what Matt did, and we were all over here having fun. He was like, "Oh, you guys want to play Rocket League? I'm gonna go upstairs." I was like, "Okay, cool, nice hanging out with you."
Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Tiny Tina is great. I do like it. There's something about it that's more fun than regular Borderlands for me.
I've never played Borderlands.
Just because of all the fantasy stuff.
I love it. All the guns, shooting fucking magic stuff.
Magic's really fun, yeah.
How does your magic change?
At
one point I was shooting like yellow beams at people, and now it's red beams that explode. I don't know. Is it because I changed a spell thing?
Yeah, one of the items at the bottom is it's like the spell book. So whenever you change that out, it has a unique spell every time.
I had no idea. I was just like, oh, cool, new thing.
I think I'm almost done with Vampire Survivors as well. I have like one stage left, and that's fun. I thought Power World was kind of overrated. I'm just not really into survival games. I don't know, because it's kind of like Ark, but with Pokemon. Did we talk about this?
Wait, are we doing something right now?
Kind of, just getting warmed up. Well, we're back, everyone. Hello, this is All Abandoned, a rock and metal podcast. I'm your host, Jesse Van Rachnid, and he's back by popular demand. He's cool like a lager beer. He is B-Man Cole.
How's it going? Good to be back.
On camera for the first time too.
I know I'm a little camera shy.
We didn't have a camera for the episode 1 that we did. The last time you were on. But we do now, and now everyone can see how beautiful you are.
Hopefully they can't see how hard my nips are.
That's why. Is that why you wore the flannel?
Oh yeah, I knew I was going to be on camera.
Double up on layers. I know. I got camera ready too. I actually took a shower today.
Man, you already sweat through your sweater.
I know. I guess that's why they call it a sweater, right? Isn't that what it's for? Absorbing all the sweats. Well, anyway, in lieu of recent purchases, because normally I would do that at the beginning, and I have bought some stuff, but we're going to be talking about it anyway, and especially for the audio people, I always just have to edit out me showing it, because the audio people can't see me showing whatever I buy. But I was hanging out with my mom the other night, and she got out some like old records that I guess from my grandpa's, because he used to be, can't remember what division he was in. If he was, is that what you call it? If
Long
it was
division,
Army or Navy, or what?
That's a branch.
He might have been branch. That's what I meant, not division. But yeah, he might have been Navy. I can't remember. I'd have to ask my mom. Anyway, he was stationed overseas for a while, and he came back with some awesome records. And so my mom and I were checking these out. We got Holiday in Scandinavia. That's a holiday in Scandinavia. Walter Eriksson and his orchestra. And you got some When the Polka Goes, Norway. Summer Song from Sweden, Skipper's Waltz. You got some Saki Arvin Polka from Finland. And oh yeah, so anyway, my family, I'll talk about this a little bit later, but is from, on my mom's side, my great grandpa, I guess would have been my maybe the great, came from Vasa, Finland. That's Vaasa. So you got the Vasa Waltz on here, so that's very fun for me. I thought that was fun. So I'm going to clean these records up, and I'm going to rip them, and I'm going to put them on the YouTubes. I think this one might be already uploaded somewhere, but we also got Favorite Finnish Songs and Dances by Viola Turpainen and her ensemble. And this one I didn't see on anything. This one wasn't even on Discogs. But for some reason, these Colonial records, they don't put any dates on anything. So like half of the Colonial records, like shit, because they have all kinds of crap like this. It's just like undated. It just says unknown for everything. But I think they're from the late 50s. because there was Colonial had released a holiday in Italy with Italian music, and it was from '58, and the release order like serial number thing, it was like right before this one, so I would assume, or I mean, well, the other one, the holiday in Scandinavia, so I assume it's probably late '50s. But either way,
You might be able to look some stuff up off the Dead Wax.
could be, yeah, maybe, yeah. So anyway, that's fun. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I'm I don't know, you know, like a lot of like some countries poke fun at like Americans' obsession with like their ancestry and what percentage of this they are versus that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I think it's one of the largest melting pots of peoples and cultures in the world. I think it makes sense for us to be interested in, and so yeah, I am especially proud of the Finnish and Swedish ancestry I have on my maternal side, and it makes sense why I love Scandinavian metal so much. There's a little tease for you for today's topic: our top 5 albums of last year, 2023, and so yeah, screw European people that think it's dumb that we like that. They're just like, good, got family from all over the place. You're just where you're born, and that's it, you know.
I'm from Pittsburgh.
Born and raised.
100%.
Yeah. Fuck all that other shit. Pittsburgh only. So yeah, we're coming at you from Pittsburgh. In addition to whatever else I've been listening to, I was telling you before we started recording, I checked out Sauron because that cute girl was wearing a shirt at my day job, and I could just tell it was a metal shirt. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you got to check it out, and if you see her again, you might have a chance.
Yeah, right.
Spark up a little convo. Ask her her top 5 favorite songs. Make sure she's not a poser.
Yeah, right, exactly. Name 2 of their albums. So yeah, it was pretty good. I checked out the latest one, 2016's Conquest Through Attrition, and it was pretty good. Definitely raw. It's like melodic black metal stuff. So this is Sauron from Michigan, by the way. There's also a Swedish one, and I think like a South American one. A few different Sauron bands out there.
Go figure.
Yeah, right. But it was really good. Like the singer was doing this weird like vocalization, like it's typical of your black metal growls, but he would do this thing where he sounded like a baying hound. I hear the baying of the hounds. Like it sounded like that old like sound effect.
Sounds like a dying seal.
Yeah, kind of. If you heard the sound effect, like the old classic sound effect, you would know what I mean. Like the original Resident Evil uses it for the dogs. At one point, you're like standing outside in the balcony and you see, and then Cradle Filth uses it in that one song from Cruelty and the Beast.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah,
I don't know which one.
Your favorite. You love Cradle Filth.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really cool. That was pretty good. And that's about it. Other than that, I've just been listening to stuff for the show here. So I don't know. Anything new you've been listening to that isn't going to be like on one of your lists today or something?
Nah, nothing crazy. Just cycling through a bunch of random stuff. Got everything on shuffle. Getting to that point where I've been listening to the same stuff solidly for a few weeks and gonna need to switch things up soon.
Gonna switch up. There's a lot of good shit coming up, or that has come out or is coming out. At least it looks good. I don't know, but I had some YouTube recommendations earlier. Something called Lander. I think they were from Washington. Heroic Lands, like really raw, like lo-fi, like atmospheric black stuff. I listened to a couple tracks and that was awesome. Inquisition, Lung Burner, and Slower, but I haven't checked those out yet.
There's another newer one that released some singles already this year off of what is it? Blues Funeral record label, Hastronaut. So you can assume what kind of music that is.
Exactly. Just like Lung Burner.
Yeah. That other band I sent you 2 nights ago, Margarita Witch Cult.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've really been liking them.
Yeah, I liked what I heard, for sure.
Excellent riffs. Vocals are all right.
Awesome name.
Oh, it hits all the marks for me.
You got a little Jimmy Buffett in there. You got witches and cults. What more can you need? And then, so lastly, before we move on here, from Dorsey's Gold Mine this week, I just have one for you, and that is Goliath, Big Game Hunt. Some good Doom from 2009. For those unfamiliar, Dorsey's Gold Mine is a little segment I do where I pull out one of my dad's records or old CDs that he gave me that he grew out of that he doesn't like anymore. Because he's more into like blues and stuff now than like heavy doom
and God,
evil stuff. Yeah, a lot more God than the devil. It's just funny that he used to. There's that one like interstate. I think it's in PA or maybe it's in Ohio, but like 666. And he and his friends would always like every time they would pass the sign, they would stop and get out of the car and take a picture by the by the route, or not interstate but route 666 sign. So I want to make a pilgrimage there one day myself, but yeah, it's just funny how you turn your gaze upwards.
There's a Forest Road 666 up by Allegheny National Forest. I really wanted to steal it, but I didn't because breaking the law is bad.
What if you're Rob Halford?
I'm sad to report I am not.
So you don't condone breaking the law. Okay, gotcha. A lot of good shows coming up this year. Speaking of Finland, we'll be seeing Korpiklani at Mr. Small's here in May. Assuming you're around anyway, if you're not working.
No, remember that's the same day as another concert I wanted to go to. I'm going to Decapitated.
Oh, that's right.
Septic Flesh.
That's right.
And someone else, I can't remember the name.
Yeah. Is that one of the ones up in New Ken?
I think it might be at Preserving the Underground.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's too bad. Well, I'm going to be at Korpiklani. I really wanted to go to that one, too, but, I gotta go Korpiklani. But
I really want to see Septic Flesh. My girlfriend really wants to see Decapitated. They're from Poland. She's Polish, so she's super into it. Whoa. Oh.
What's her last name?
It's Italian, but she's mostly
gotcha. Okay.
Polish.
Yeah. Karglashkovlich or something. I didn't remember her last name being anything like weird. That wasn't very good Polish.
I don't know what the fuck that was. It sounded like you got indigestion.
Yeah. It's okay. We got a lot of good Polish presence here in Pittsburgh. We love our pierogies.
Jalapeno Hannah, my girl.
Who else Jalapeno Hannah?
What?
I don't know who Jalapeno Hannah is.
Have you ever been to a Pirates game to watch them lose?
Yeah.
But at least during the stretch, they have the pierogi race.
Oh, that's one of the pierogi. Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right.
There's like the Chester Cheddar guy. There's Oliver Onion dude. There's Jalapeno Hannah.
Okay, I gotcha.
And there's another one that I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I don't really I haven't gone to a game since I was probably 15.
Can't believe I didn't know the names
Even though I live down the street and pirate tickets are $20.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty ashamed I didn't know the names of the Pittsburgh Pirates pierogies.
Fucking idiot.
I'm a piece of shit.
Presented by Mrs. T's.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You go to like a nice like brew pub or like a decent restaurant and you see pierogies on the menu and you think, oh, man, some good homemade pierogies. And then they're like $9. And then it turns out it's just Mrs. T's.
Yeah, my girlfriend, her mom goes to like Polish churches and makes handmade pierogies with all the old Polish ladies and stuff, and so she's just always got a stash in the refrigerator. It's fucking awesome.
Good for you. Because I know I can't remember where we got those at one time, but I was pretty pissed off.
Oh yeah, I told you it was gonna be a rip off because you never get enough pierogies. That was at Craft House.
Oh yeah.
Before Wednesday 13. Yeah.
It wasn't just about the amount. It was just that they were Mrs. T's and that they were as expensive as they were.
Or they give you an odd number. There's like 5, and I'm like, there's 2 of us. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Either way, if it's just me, what the hell am I going to do with 5 pierogies?
Yeah.
Slap you in the face with these.
Yep. And it's like you can get 2 or 3 boxes for like what they were charging. And it's like, fuck you.
And for those of you that don't know what pierogies are, because it's a big northeaster Pittsburgh thing. A lot of places down south, I realized, don't have them or people don't even know what they are. It's like a Polish dumpling filled with potato, essentially.
Sometimes cheddar.
Oh, yeah, you can put onion.
Sometimes
grill some onion with it, put some butter on it. Holy shit. Oh,
yeah, you slap them up with butter and onion. Yeah. God, that's good. It's good eating. And of course, you got your
you can put bacon
pigs in a blanket. Oh, bacon, yeah. Your pigs in a blanket. You got your halushki. I love a good halushki.
What about pigs in a blanket?
It's a Polish thing. Like, not the. Well, that's what some people call them. So not like the little the little cocktail wieners wrapped in croissant, but like the.
Like a kielbasa or
like
something?
the meat like shoved into like a lettuce or like a cabbage wrap.
Oh, okay.
Like meat stuffed cabbage things.
All right.
There's usually like a red
right.
sauce over it or something.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. I like that
Stuffed
stuff.
cabbage?
Yeah, essentially. and then of course Haluski is just gonna be your just cabbage and noodles.
Yeah. All
Delicious.
good.
All good.
All good things.
Because Polacks can cook.
All right.
Is that an offensive thing to say?
Yeah, that's a derogatory term, Jesse.
Why though? I thought that's just what they were called.
No.
Polish?
Yeah.
What's wrong with Polak?
That's the derogatory thing. That's what people would make fun of them.
Oh.
Be like, you're such a fucking Polak.
Whatever.
Dumbass. You just don't think that because they're white.
Yeah, right. Minority dollars white. Oh boy, what are we getting into?
Yeah, we'll get away from that one.
Yep. Yeah, you can't be racist against white people. So let's see. In addition to that, then we got. I guess we'll be going with mom and some of my family to see Heart with Cheap Trick. That should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Cheap Trick I never got super into.
Yeah, I don't care.
But it'd be cool to see them.
I fuck with Heart.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
So much good Heart listening around the pool.
Oh man, just floating around with a case of beer, listening to Heart. COVID summer, fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I know a lot of people had a rough time with that point in time, but we had a blast during COVID.
There was nowhere to go, nothing to do, so we just drank and floated around a pool all day.
I'm getting paychecks to just get drunk, hang out, just float around the pool all day.
Beer pong
and darts at night.
Yard games, whatever the hell we had.
Oh yeah, those
The big bucket thing.
Yeah, that bucket game with the balls. Yeah, it was fun. Neighbor, according to something we heard on the grapevine, whether it's true or not, but apparently the neighbor thought we were gay because we were just together like most of the time, just hanging out. And it didn't, especially the music that we would listen to too, just blasting. Again, like Heart all day.
A little Bonnie Tyler,
Some Bonnie Tyler in there, some Heart, a lot of Alone. And then that's one of the things we like to talk about too. Is like my mom would come home from whatever she was doing, and because she was still working for some reason, I think, because we were working at the same place, but I wasn't working and she was. I don't know, but yeah, she would come home. Why is a song playing every time I come home? Just Alone blasting. It's like 2 p.m. and we're already like
lit.
12 beers in, still just floating around the pool. Bowl. I was gonna say bowl, but then floating on the pool. Got some bowls involved.
Oh yeah, always.
Oh God, that was good times. So yeah, Heart's an important one for us. Always definitely a good drunk playlist.
In April, I'm also gonna see Howling Giant and The Obsessed. Looking forward to that one.
Hey.
We saw Howling Giant. Oh, yep. Shout out.
If it ain't heavy, it ain't shit.
We saw Howling Giant in Youngstown, Ohio last year for their at West Side Bowl for their 10-year anniversary or 5 not 10.
Yeah.
I'm bad at numbers.
Whatever. Still though, yeah.
Yeah, they were fucking heavy. They were really good live. I'm not as much into listening to their regular studio recordings, but live they were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I'm definitely not missing to that.
Yeah, West Side Bowl. I've talked about them on the show before. Great venue. It's an awesome place. Youngstown itself, but West Side Bowl is awesome. Frankie Valli's coming.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna miss that one. I think.
Probably. I wouldn't mind going. I told.
Oh, I would go, but the tickets for me to hear like one song.
Oh yeah. Dun, 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 dun. The other guy just slaying the vocals the entire time, and Frankie Valli just waiting for his one part that he sings.
But he sings it good.
He sings it good. Of course, a little tease for an upcoming episode. Creed's coming later this year, too, to Star Lake. What's that? Burgettstown, outside of Pittsburgh here. I think that's August or September. I might end up going. Tickets are looking pretty expensive even for lawns. But my cousin's wife is going with their daughter, and I guess it's a group of girls, and she asked if I would go with them, so they had a guy to hang out with, and just...
Wait, what show?
Not that anyone's going to bother them. Creed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just had to hear you say that again. Okay.
So...
All right.
Yeah, I don't want to give away the episode, but I will just say that the My Own Prison album is great, and I don't care what anyone says. So...
Sure.
Human Clay, whatever. Human Clay sucks, but, you know, because Human Clay is when, like, Arms Wide Open and all, like, the really big radio ones. I mean, My Own Prison has some radio hits on it, but not to the extent that Take Me Higher and shit from Human Clay. So anyway, I might do that. Corpaclani, I've seen them once before with Matt, who I had on for the last 2 episodes for our Faith No More series. We saw them. I don't remember a lot of the set, because I think Iluviti had opened up for them, or it was like one of the bands that played before them. So by the time Corpaclani came on, I was, already half lit.
Half lit? You were probably the full way there.
I was like 85% lit. And I don't know, I wasn't in great shape at the time. Still not, but I'm getting in better shape. But I was probably at like that's probably around the time of like my peak like overweightness and just like hairy, gross sweatiness. And still, after the set was done, I didn't have a shirt on. Matt and I took our shirts off. I can't imagine how offensive that must have been for everyone around us. But despite everything being spotty for me, I mean, I had the wherewithal to tuck the shirt I bought and the shirt that I took off and like into my pants so I wouldn't lose them.
Ew! So they just smelled like sweaty nutsack.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Because we went pretty crazy in the pit.
Dude, you should probably needed like to get some environmentalists to clean you off like a duck. Like, Dawn and like a scrub and a sponge.
Instead of having the little duckling on it, it's just they just start putting out Dawn bottles with just me on it with no shirt.
Drunk, sweaty, discombobulated, confused.
All kinds of like buffalo chicken in my beard and stuff.
Loose chicken bits.
Loose chicken bits. Great band.
Burping up onion rings.
You got onion rings? You were eating Funyuns on the way here. How much onion do you need?
Well, that explains the smell.
And then just sweating out all the onion too in the pit. But I have seen Hart once too, also at Burgettstown, but it was Joe and Jet, someone else, Hart, and I probably drank the night before or whatever.
Probably.
But I woke up, just getting ready to go. It was just my mom and I and our friend that we went with. But I don't know. I just woke up and I remember just like I mixed some. It's probably Black Velvet with some Pepsi Max or whatever. They don't call it Max anymore. But who cares? But anyway, I don't know. I just started. I don't know. We got to the restaurant to eat before we went to the venue, and I just started feeling sick. Like right after we sat down to order. And
what restaurant?
Industry Pubic House.
Ugh.
But it wasn't the one like uptown or whatever.
The one in Robinson.
Yeah. But anyway, I was like, oh boy, here we go. So I started puking at Industry Puking House, and then by the time we even got to the show, then we went and parked on the lawn, and I just got in the back of the car, and it was all I could do to like try to get some water down. Turns out I think I was somehow ended up being like severely dehydrated, because when you wake up dehydrated and then just drink Pepsi and whiskey, I guess doesn't help anything.
No.
And so anyway, I was just like puking out of the back of the car. I mean, mostly just dry heaving and just like whatever water I would get down at some point. But I could hear Joe and Jeff from the car, so I got that experience. But then I did start feeling better and was able to get into to catch like the tail end of Heart. So
how many concerts have you missed because of overindulgence?
Well, that's the only one that I actually got sick for and missed. All the ones I was there but maybe missed because I don't remember them. I don't do that anymore. Corpaclani, I'm probably going to get pretty drunk because most of the songs are about drinking. But no, I don't go that nuts anymore. But yeah, like the first time I saw Devin Townsend, I don't remember a lot of that either.
Yeah, I've been doing better at remembering shows.
We're grown up.
Oh, yeah.
When we first started hanging out and went to Opeth, I don't want to... I feel like I shouldn't say too much more. I may or may not have had a license, and I may or may not have driven.
Oh, yeah, that time. We've seen Opeth a couple times, but
yeah,
I remember that. That was like the first time we ever hung out one-on-one.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah, I'm not supposed to be driving right now. I was like, okay, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's go the speed limit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, all right. But yeah, all right. Well, anyway, watcher, listener, sorry for the long hiatus. Haven't had an episode out in probably almost a couple months, but the holidays were a super busy time for me and everyone, and I was going through a little bit of a winter funk there, and some seasonal blues, and I was playing a lot of Vampire Survivors and and other stuff. So, but hey, we're back, baby, and I'll try not to let such a time without episode releases happen again. So, you have my sincerest apology. Mental health, it's important, but it's more important to fight through it and work anyway. And I failed you on that, so I'm sorry. So, all right, yeah, like I said, we're gonna do our top 5 albums of last year. We'll have some honorable mentions, or at least I will. But before that, oh yeah, that's right. So recently we saw Resin play at Thunderhoof again, or Thunderhoof. Why do I always call that
Thunderbird?
This isn't World of Warcraft. The first time we saw Resin, a few months back, what was that, like August or something? September maybe?
No, that was a while ago, dude.
Yeah, it was like
it was before.
Months, right?
No, it was like.
Because I think I remember mentioning the Resin
Yeah,
album
it
that
might
I
have
bought,
been like,
and I started doing the show in October, so
it might have been late August, early September.
something like that.
Yeah, because my girlfriend was in Mexico City, so she couldn't come.
Yeah, I was glad she got to come the last time we saw them, though. That was a lot of fun. But anyway, so the first time that we saw Resin, they had Elder was headlining, and they were selling a hot sauce. And I can't remember if I mentioned it before, but there you go. Your little Elder hot sauce. So we're going to try that. I've been waiting for you to come back to the show to try this out. Let's give it a shot. We got some crackers. If I was thinking, I could have got some chicky nuggies earlier or something, but...
Oh, man.
Dank chicky nuggies. We like it hot. Oh, yeah, give it a good shake. Oh, how about for the audio listener, too? Oh, a little ASMR for you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
fuck.
Yep.
Listen
Yep.
to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, so what are we dealing with here? We're dealing with water,
Ooh.
orange juice,
Okay.
vinegar,
Ooh.
mango,
Okay.
yellow bell pepper. Oh, this is where the hot sauce comes in. Habanero.
All right. There we go.
One pepper we got in here. Elderflower syrup, sugar, lime juice, ginger, and sea salt. So it's not going to be very...
well, you can't have a hot sauce without syrup.
Right.
Doesn't sound like it's going to be.
I have a feeling calling it a hot sauce is generous, but...
I think Elder tampered with it.
It smells peppery a little bit. It smells
All right,
mango-y.
yeah, it smells good.
Yeah. Assume these are Matt's crackers.
Fuck you, Matt.
So some more ASMR for you.
I don't know what that means.
See those videos that like
Ass to mouth,
like-
rectum to mouth.
yeah, something like that. That like hot girls do, where they just like tap on things and like make noises. You know.
I watch regular porn.
I don't know. It's just like weird, like different noises, and then they just record them making these noises, and it's supposed to be relaxing for people. I don't know.
Have you just tried putting on porn with just the audio and no video? Yeah. It's rhythmic.
Count the nut slaps. The nut slaps. Like, instead of counting sheep to go to sleep, 1 slap, 2 slap, 3 slap.
Out like a light.
All right, you ready?
Yep, let's give her a go. That's tasty.
Yeah, it's good. And we definitely got the citrusiness
Yeah, there's a little
Oh,
zip.
yellow bell pepper, yeah.
There's a little zip on my tongue, but
A little bit. More than I expected. But
yeah, I'm gonna need to get another rip of that. I think the flavor of the crackers is kind of screwing me up.
yeah.
They're a little sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's good. What would that go good with?
I think you can make some like good tacos with it. Throw in some slices of mango or something into a taco, burrito, whatever.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can slather some of that on it. I think you'd have a good time.
Yeah, like a little like a mango pico or something.
Yeah, a little
Oh,
silly little fruity blend.
too much. Yeah, it's definitely sweet though. Very, very slight hint. But it's pretty good. Not bad, Elder. Not bad. I think we should do that. Someday have an all abandoned Reaper sauce.
Reaper sauce smackdown.
Uh-huh. But just got to get some listeners and
Our Reaper sauce was
people that actually watch first.
yeah.
So there's a demand for such a thing.
Dude, I see people online now. It'll just be some regular ass looking dude in a car, of course. That's where people film themselves doing stupid shit.
I know.
Just like picks up a Reaper pepper and is like, I'm gonna eat this. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Then they
Fucking
eat it
dumbass.
and then they like die in the car. Like, okay, well your next 24 hours are gonna be fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Your mouth is gonna be on fire. Your bowels are gonna be destroyed. Each dump is gonna be hotter than the last. Hot, hot, hot. Like, what do you expect? I like Reaper stuff. We eat Reaper flakes all the time. We Reaper sauce. It's delicious, but you don't just eat a straight up Reaper
No.
unless you're doing it for the likes.
Yeah, right. I took a little, like one time I think Dave and I took like a little nib out of one, like from my mom's like garden or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like a tiny little like nibble, and that was like fucking hot as shit. It is like the hottest pepper, right?
They keep making more genetic hybrids to make them hotter and hotter, but
Yeah.
I think the taste just keeps getting dumbed down and lost.
Yeah.
Because Reapers themselves, I think they are a hybrid of some things, but
Yeah, it's like
I can't
scorpion or
remember.
something, I think.
yeah, that's how they get that little tail at the end. But they got that naturally sweet taste once you can get through the heat.
Yeah. Yeah, Reapers have an amazing flavor. So, yeah, the one thing that we like to do if you're into the spice, listener or watcher, if you're into the hot stuff, you just grow some Reaper peppers and dehydrate them and toss them in a food processor and make your own like pepper flakes. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, if you like it hot, give it a shot. Some like it hot.
Looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening.
Okay, you want to get into the topic?
Let's do it.
Need to pee first or anything?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
You may have noticed, humble video watcher, that the camera quality got a little better. That's one thing I did over the holiday that I haven't been putting out episodes. It was I got a new camera, so you're welcome.
Yeah, no one could see your little Peter on your OnlyFans.
Yeah, that other shitty like just Amazon web camera I had was just like everything was like really bright and like washed out. I was just like blending in with the background and stuff. Like everything was just white.
It's pretty much you anyways.
Yeah, I know, but
Washed up and just blends into the background.
washed up, washed out, blends into the background. Everyone hates them. It's not a sponsorship, but I want to acknowledge Pittsburgh's own Helltown Brewing. It's thematically appropriate for this show, and they're also very delicious. And we got a little can't really tell in the lighting, but Hellfire Alchemist. It's a Baltic porter. So hell yeah, Helltown. I give a lot of local breweries just free plugs on the show, but that's okay. Maybe someday they'll send me free shit.
Yeah, for all the shit
Just-
you steal from them.
Yeah. Never stolen anything from Helltown. Did
Yeah.
take this glass from Necromancer though.
Yet.
yeah. we just go in there and then complain about the music that's playing.
To the person playing the music that we didn't realize was playing the music.
Yeah. Hey there, Delilah.
It's
What's
like
it like?
It's like, hey, Jesse, this fucking sucks.
Oh my god, I hate this song. This song sucks. And then she goes over,
runs over to her phone and changes it.
changes it. And we're just like, whoops. Sorry, lady. I didn't know it was yours. That was really funny. That was the Helltown down the strip. So for some reason, girl who was bartending that day that you hear this, we didn't know, and we're sorry. That song does fucking suck, though. What's it like with the dick up your ass, don't you know? I think that's how it goes, right? Anyway, all right. Let's get into the topic at hand here. I'm going to kick it over to you. So mine are roughly in order. My top 5, number 1 being my favorite if I had to pick, even though, again, it's kind of a struggle and it changes every day, and who cares anyway? But for the sake of the podcast, I just went ahead and ordered them. You said yours weren't necessarily in any sort of order of importance or anything, so...
No, not really.
But either way, I'm going to have you kick us off with your number 5.
Number 5, coming in at the bottom of my list, Enforcer, their Nostalgia album. I've been listening to Enforcer for a while now. All their albums are fucking bangers, just part of that new wave of heavy metal coming across the nations. For me, a couple really good songs, if you're unfamiliar with it, to check out off that album: Unshackle Me, Coming Alive, Kiss of Death, End of the Rainbow. Whole album rules, but those songs in particular are my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good.
A little bit about them. They're from Sweden. It's just a awesome mix of heavy speed metal with a little glam influence into it. They got that little groove going.
Reminds me of like Scorpions or something. I've said that since you first been like putting them on.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
like Scorpions is like, I don't know, maybe Def Leppard or something, but
early heavy metal influence, but their own little twist on it. They just fucking roll. That album was really good.
Guy's voice is incredible.
Oh, he can hit those high notes like a champ.
Oh no, yeah!
You can't go wrong with any album by them.
That's that one's definitely one of my honorable mentions. It got inched out of my top 5, but I did pick up the CD last time we were at IDES. It's fucking great. You definitely gotta check it out. Anything else to say for that one?
No, I'm just keeping it short and concise.
Short and sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet too because I'll let you know. But okay, so my number 5 is Darkadelic by The Damned. And so anyone who's been following the show knows that The Damned is one of our favorite bands. But I did a whole album review back on episode 2, so I don't need to get into anything I haven't already said before. You can check out that episode if you want some deeper thoughts on that. It's a great album by one of the most important bands of all time, and what more can you say? Fucking yeah,
it's good. The singles were all hits. The whole album just solid. They're still old. They're still killing it, putting out good, meaningful music that isn't just bland shit.
Yeah. It was one of the things I said in the interview is they still find a way to like...
It's relevant.
Yeah, like maintain this punk spirit of just like still like lampooning like social things and stuff, but they do it in a way that it doesn't sound like they're just like old men, like yelling at clouds.
Their sound has obviously evolved as you would expect.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, they've maintained relevance.
Girl, I'll Stop At Cucking. Great song. Girl, I'll Stop At Cucking. Beware of the Clown. That's that.
Yeah, it was one of the
great
singles.
Political message. Yeah, it was one of the big singles. Roderick's an amazing song. It's one of my favorites. It has that little short film on YouTube. It's not really a music video, but did you see that? It's like Dave dressed up as like this like weird character. I can't remember what the film or book. No, it's a film that like his like costume is inspired by, but he has like the round glasses and like the.
No, I didn't catch
like,
that.
What is it? Derby hat. He has like the mask around the thing, and then he has like the old like Luger kind of like German thing, and he's like driving around, and it's like espionage and like.
Did they have the Invisible Man?
The Invisible Man was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he does a lot of old movie inspired things.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
He loves that. Yeah, obviously Beware of the Clown leans more into the Captain realm.
Oh, yeah, Captain songwriting, silliness, and making fun of the silliness that is our political state.
Yeah, So yeah, all great songs. Paul Gray, he's got some good songs on there. He's like my favorite damned like bassist probably, I guess.
Oh yeah, he was a classic. He wrote some good songs back in the day, and now he's back with them, killing it again. Love to see it.
Outside of talking about like upcoming shows and stuff, I try not to like date these episodes too much, but whatever. We're talking. So recently, at the time of this recording, February 2024, they recently announced that they got Rat back on drums.
Oh, officially, like
I don't know if it's just a one-off or not. But
because
he's been that tour.
He's been coming back for a lot of one-offs.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that they might have figured out some of their differences.
Yeah, they must have, which is good because it's like, you guys are getting older. Like, why keep being mad at each other? I don't know what the details are, but
yeah, you got a sweet legacy, and you're like in your 70s. Come on, let's just
embrace it and have fun. Like,
yeah, you guys don't got to worry about that much about money anymore.
Yeah. At least you would think they don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not into their finances. Nor do I really know how to do mine.
Never done any financing in my life.
Free tax USA, baby.
I just see money and then I spend it and then I say, where'd all my money go? And then I repeat every 2 weeks. But yeah, so they're doing some shit with Rad again, and we were supposed to see Rad in Vegas
before the Punk Rock Bowling 2021. I think that was it was 2021 because I was living in Portland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I flew out. We met in Vegas, Punk Rock Bowling all weekend, but they were gonna have this like little event with
one of the pre-shows
artists. And Rad was supposed to be there.
We got tickets for the Legends one. I forget who all was there, but the main one we wanted to see was Rat, and of course
Rad fucking scabies
couldn't come through because of a problem with a visa or something dumb.
I think it was just like COVID flight shit and stuff too, right? And visas.
Who the hell knows?
The Damned, Darkadelic, fantastic. I don't know if it's maybe not quite as strong as like Evil Spirits, which I think is like the last great thing they did, but
Evil Spirits is awesome.
The EP they did between these albums too is also very good. But yeah, very good. All right, Brendan, Beeman Cole, what's your number 4?
Road Wolf, Midnight Lightning. This is the response. Their first album, Unchain the Wolf 2020. Fucking amazing album. Just awesome heavy metal, speed metal from Austria. They come out with that. COVID hits. And then they spent the rest of the time writing an amazing fucking headbanging album. Again, it reminds you of late 70s, early 80s metal. The album starts off just absolutely ripping. The song On the Run. Oh my God. You drive to that thing, and then next thing you know, you're going 80 miles an hour.
One of those. Yep.
Yeah. Again, they just hit the hammer on the head. Just awesome heavy metal. And for a newer band, too. Some of the guys in there are a little older, but
I'm sure I've heard some, right? I'm sure you've played some.
Oh, definitely. I've definitely played their first album, Unchain the Wolf.
Is that the one with like the animal people on the bikes on the front? Or is that something else?
No, that's Speed Wolf.
Oh, that's Speed Wolf. Okay.
There's a lot of crossover with some of these names.
A lot of wolves. A lot of
wolves, speed, hounds. That's got to be... That's on the... Can't forget about Road Wolf. I can't say that enough. I want them to come to the U.S. so bad, but they just one of those bands always tour in Europe.
Yeah.
I look on Spotify and it's like
for this kind of music anyway.
And it's like, oh, this only has like 100,000 listens. I'm like, that sucks because this is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And if you like metal, you need to be listening to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one I never got around to checking that one out yet. Because
I'll listen to some later.
Oh yeah, we'll listen to some. Because there was a shitload of stuff. Because I was kind of lazy last year, I realized, with like following up with like new releases. So I was really crunching towards the end of last year to like catch up, and that was just one I never got to. I'm sure I'll get to it at some point. I'm sure it's gonna be great. Oh, that's what that's what I was gonna say. Speaking of Spotify, if you're interested in hearing some of the music that we talk about on the show on Spotify, I make a playlist for every episode that features primarily like the topic band, because usually I just do bands as a topic, but just whatever else comes up too that we talk about, put it all in the playlist. That's on Spotify. I think it's up under All Abandoned Pod. So if you want to listen along with the show or listen to what we're talking about afterwards or beforehand or whatever, go ahead and check that out. All Abandoned Pod on Spotify, playlist for every episode. Yippee Skippy. All right, so number 4 for me. I've been saying Yippee Skippy a lot, and I have no idea where I got that.
It's very weird. I don't know how I feel about it.
I heard it somewhere, I think, or it's from something, but I have no idea.
I want you to stop saying it because I'm afraid it's going to grow on me.
Yippee Skippy!
No, I definitely won't be saying it like a Mario character.
Yeah. Anyway, number 4 for Mr. Rachnid here. Calma by Calma. Calma is Calma's 9th album, released May 26th. Excuse me. Oh, God. It was released May 26th. It's awesome and heavy as shit. Fun fact, the word Calma is Karelian for to the death or to the grave. And I actually just learned that when I was researching today. I never knew what Calma meant. I just assumed it was like a made-up word or whatever. Karelia, or Karelian, is like the landmass that kind of connects like Finland and Russia. And I guess they kind of have like split ownership over it. So it's like a Finnish like dialect, I guess, or something like between Finnish and Russian. But anyway, Kalma emerged from the explosive Scandinavian melodic death metal revolution of the 90s alongside fellow Finnish acts like Children of Bodom, R.I.P. Alexi, Norther, and Eternal Tears of Sorrow, whom were themselves influenced by Swedish groups like Dark Tranquillity, In Flames, and At the Gates of the Gothenburg Sweden scene. So I've loved Kalma for a long time. I grew up with a lot of like rock and metal influence in my family, and I credit my older brother for driving the discovery and our subsequent love of Scandinavian metal. That is to say, I've loved Kalma since like elementary school and Bodom and all that stuff. My dad would always throw these like huge kegger bangers for like the 4th of July and like sometimes even like Memorial Day and stuff. And I have this one memory of my brother turning off my dad's music like late into the party, like later in the night, probably like 1 a.m. or something. Like a lot of people were gone anyway, but he turned my dad's music off, which is a big no-no back then for him. That a surefire way to get my dad's ire. But anyway, so then my brother put on the Swamp Song, which was Kalma's 3rd album and arguably their strongest. So yeah, much to my dad and company's chagrin, and that was funny. Turn that shit off, Josh. Yeah, that was fun. So I fell off of Kalma after 2006's The Black Waltz, never listening to much of the albums afterward until this newest outing. If I had to express why I fell off, I think I remember getting just kind of bored with the formula or something. Like the band was adapting some, but I thought it was like getting a little samey. Just like, yeah, okay, I get it. I saw Kalma with Ensiferum in Texas in 2019 while visiting my cousin Seth, whom I've mentioned on the show as well. He's the co-host of WIPFM with him. He's Jake Badlands, got me in the Faith No More, all that stuff. They were awesome. Either way, I'm back on the Kalma train. It sounds... I mean, they never really strayed too far from their original sound anyway, but something about this new one really like captures their early vibe. Like much like faster, thrashier, really just just finished melodic death. What you might expect. I think also of the misheard, misinterpreted lyric internet videos of yore, released on sites like eBombs World, which I still visit for meme content, but the mobile site is fucking god awful. It's written with ads and it's unusable. Fix your shit, eBombs World. I want to look at your memes, but I can't use your site, so figure it out. The pinnacle of such...
Maybe if you were actually paying for your memes instead of pirating them, they could afford to not have ads.
Pirating memes. Torrenting them. I always see them on BitTorrent after I download them, so other people can download them too. The pinnacle of these like misinterpreted lyric videos that were like coming out in, like the 2000s internet was one video for Man of the King, and I showed this to you before we started recording, and that's a song from the Black Waltz. But yeah, I am the drag police.
That was pretty good.
From the shit Skater Mafia. Like it's people would take this music and just put like alternate lyrics over it that are silly and like sound like what they're saying because it's often like growly and stuff. But But there was one for a night, which is Wishmaster or Fishmaster, which is really good too. Like Master, Apprentice, Hearthborn. But instead of Hearthborn, they put like hard porn. So that was really good too. The Finns, dude. So yeah, where are you at with like Scandinavian metal? Are there any bands like stick out for you that you're like really into, or is it kind of just more of like a cursory thing for you?
Cursory, I guess. I mean, I like a lot of it, but I don't listen to a ton of it.
I guess you listen maybe more like the folky stuff more.
I mean, I do enjoy it. I like it all, but it's never something that I'm fully invested in all the time.
Yeah.
Listening to. I like Amorphous.
Yeah. Yeah, the one the most important.
You know me, my heart lies with doom and stoner metal.
Uh-huh. And retro metal revivals.
Hey man, dude, the new wave heavy metal shit is fucking awesome.
It's great. It's really fucking good shit.
Enforcer, Skullfist Rules, Cauldron, also one of my other favorites. All good shit.
All right. Beeman, give me your number 3.
We mentioned them earlier. We saw them twice this year. Resin, Solace. Awesome album. They had another one that also came out this year as well, a split with Venom Sabati from Mexico City. Album is also really good, but Solace, that one just drives it home for me. They're a group out of Chicago, psychedelic-y doom. It has parts where it's just, I heard described as lethargic calmness. And then all of a sudden it just comes in with just these mammoth fucking riffs, sound wall, and it just, you just want to move your fucking headbang to it. It's the perfect kind of music too, where I don't necessarily know all the song names for an album, because you just put an album on and you just let it ride. It's not like, for me, they're not one of those bands where you just pick a song and this is my favorite song and I listen to this song off the album. If I'm going to listen to them, I put on a full album, because each song goes into the next, and it's just, there's a calm, it brings you up, comes down, back up, down, and it's perfect for driving, working, helps me focus for whatever reason. So they've been one of my favorite bands that I found in 2023. I didn't know them prior to then, but I know of 3 of their vinyls, and they're one I gotta collect them all.
Gotta collect them all. Were you aware of them before the Thunderbird?
That first time we saw them when they opened for Elder, I knew who Elder was, knew they were all right. And so I checked out who was opening for them, and I saw Resin. I was like, all right, well, I'll give them a listen. And then I listened to that, and I was like, holy fuck, these guys are awesome. And so I wanted to see them way more than Elder.
Yeah.
And then I told my brother to come. My brother went, and he said the same thing. He was like, holy fuck, those guys are awesome. Like, Elder can suck it. I want to listen to Resin. And so,
that was good too.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah.
They were good, but after a certain point, I was like, are you guys going to stop playing anytime soon? I was there for Resin, and then...
Shut up.
Yeah, right. And then we saw them open for... King Buffalo. There's too many Buffalo band names.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we saw them open for King Buffalo.
Not Lord Buffalo. King Buffalo.
King Buffalo was good.
Yeah.
I like them live more than their regular recorded stuff.
Yeah.
But I was still there. I was still there for Resin.
Yeah.
And I met their lead singer. He was a super nice guy. Fist bump. That's it. I didn't have to talk to him.
You can say it all with just a good fist bump.
Pretty much.
What more do you have to say?
I don't like talking to people.
Of course, my favorite member of Resin is the guy who wears the motocross jerseys and
plays a saxophone. Saxophone in a psychedelic doom metal band, dude. It's fucking awesome.
It's fucking great. And
yeah, like why is he wearing a motocross jersey? I don't know, but it's cool.
I don't know. It works. It's his thing.
Yeah. Shane asked me about. He's like, dude, is he wearing a motocross jersey? He's like, yeah, dude.
And it's confirmed the fame because he was wearing one both times we saw them.
Yeah. I don't remember if it's the same one.
No, it wasn't. The first time it was like green, and then last time I think it was like red or something. So
Yeah.
definitely a different jersey, but
I wonder if he brings a dirt bike on tour.
he's coming on stage with it and just do a couple of little
No,
donuts.
that's for Rob Halford.
Well, that's like choppers. This is a dirt bike. It's different.
Yeah, Chopper's cooler though, so
Choppers are cooler.
you're infinitely lower, so you might as well not even try.
Plus, this guy's he's not so much hell bent for leather as he is jerseys
And saxophone.
and saxophone.
Very good saxophone. When the saxophone comes in
Dude, it's
on a
amazing.
resin song, it's so cool. It's soothing. It's awesome. It's just mellow, and it's perfect. And then all of a sudden,
Emotional.
you'll get hit by the fucking wall of riffage.
And then when he's not playing saxophone, he just has it like sound machine thing.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but
He's just like pressing like a note and then just like twisting knobs and making noises and doing cool stuff. So it's really sweet. And then so not to mention Duck Groldiner on vocals and guitar, the main guy who we were joking looks like Chuck Schuldiner from Death, Schuldiner, and Dave Grohl a little bit, like a young Dave Grohl.
oh yeah,
That
yeah,
guy,
yeah, he does.
So it's combining their names.
Yeah, he looked like that was an accurate assessment. And then that dude from King Buffalo looked like Frank Zappa and Luigi.
Oh yeah.
You started the whole thing doing woo, and then people behind us started doing it for the whole show. Meanwhile,
Wow.
one year I hear my sister-in-law and my girlfriend like, oh yeah, he's like so hot and whatever, he's like tall and all this shit, and then on the other side I hear like, dude, that looks like Frank Zappa and Luigi. Woo!
I'm glad that like spread around the venue too. I don't know if I necessarily realized that other people were doing it.
Yeah, a guy behind me started doing it.
Yeah, I guess we did acknowledge it. Oh, it was amazing.
They were really good live though.
Yeah, they were great. And again, that's King Buffalo, not Lord Buffalo. Lord Buffalo opened up the first time we saw Resin. So they also seem to just like to tour with bands that have Buffalo in the name.
They would really love
And some
Animals
kind
of
of
the
title.
Great Plains.
Yeah, especially like royal ones. Is there a Duke Buffalo?
Esquire Buffalo.
Squire Buffalo? Is there a Chancellor Buffalo?
Emperor Buffalo.
I don't know, probably.
My new band, Emperor Witch Cult Buffalo.
Margarita Buffalo. Okay, so number 3 for me. This is also one I've talked about on the show before. It is Mass by the Friendship Commanders. Released in September. I got a little early though, but yeah, I saw my friends, not to repeat myself too much, but I saw my friends' band Morning Sounds open up for Friendship Commanders. They're from Nashville. They sounded really full for a 2-piece with Buick Audra on guitar and vocals and Jerry Rowe on drums, and I think he also records bass for the albums. They have a kind of doomy and stonery, yet grungy sound. It reminds me of something like Spiders from Sweden as much as it does the Smashing Pumpkins. It's a really interesting kind of like blend of influences. But Buick's voice is powerful and her lyrics are deeply personal, especially the last track, which is like a spoken word poem. It is the one that you do turn the album off for.
Oh, you're like, oh, okay, this is the end.
Yeah. It's definitely worth listening to once. I'm not like saying that, but you're probably not going to listen to the spoken word poem every time you put the album on. But anyway, album's great. Mass is the duo's third album, which Buick describes as a concept album about memory, language, and the state of Massachusetts. And the album was released alongside a book appropriately titled Mass, Essays on Memory, Language, and the State of Massachusetts. How about that? When I saw them at the Squirrel Hill Sports Bar in Pittsburgh last year, Buick had the Mass album and the book on sale. But being the broke bitch that I am, I couldn't afford both. So I chose to buy the album, thinking that's probably more important to have the actual music. But I'd like to order the book at some point. And at the time of this recording, there were only like 5 available according to the band's Bandcamp. But anyway, Buick is really cool and nice. I talked to her, like I said. I bought the album off of her and talked to her for a little bit. And And yeah, Mass just really stood out to me this year, and I can't wait to explore their back catalog a little more and see where they go next. That's it. Really good. Really good. Brendan, number 2.
Who does number 2 work for?
Yeah, man, give it hell.
Green Lung.
Ooh.
This Heathen Land. They're a band that's kind of been on my eye from like 2018 on. They've released quite a few albums. Each one gets better than the last. This is the pinnacle of what they've released so far. In my opinion, it's just their most complete album. The quality, the production of it, it's all there. They're out of London, England.
Oh, jolly old England.
Again, it's just doom, stonery, hard rock.
I realized they were English. That's interesting.
Yeah, you know those.
For like that kind of music, I don't feel like.
They all hide their accents.
Yeah.
Sneaky bastards.
I just feel like you don't get a lot of like stonery doom stuff out of England as much as.
No, you don't hear from it as much, but the A side of that album is absolutely amazing. I meant to bring the vinyl over here, but I forgot it.
You son of a bitch.
Well, we'll check some out later.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the songs to note from it. My personal favorite is One for Sorrow. And then there's Mountain Throne, Forest Church, Maxine, it's an amazing song. They have like a vibe.
Maxine.
No, it's not Unto Others. If they would release a fucking album, they probably would make it onto this list, but they only do singles now or something. I don't or EPs.
Not really.
Yeah, they haven't released one this year. They had a couple EPs out, so I'm waiting for one. Waiting for one, guys, and let's get a fucking tour.
Come on.
I want to see you.
Come on.
But anyways, they just, sing a lot about occult crap and
Love it.
pagan stuff and churches in the forest and mountains and, all that good shit I like.
Okay.
They're always singing about fucking the moors and the UK and, grasslands and forests and weird rocks and shit. Whatever.
Weird rocks. It's like calm in their swamps.
But yeah, fucking rules.
Hell yeah. All right, my number 2 is Arcona with Kolb. Released June 16th.
Not a split with corn.
No.
Corn on the cob.
Arcona Cobb. I have that joke there, see?
Oh, you did? Oh, shit.
By Arcona. So, Arcona is a Russian pagan metal band that was formed in Moscow in 2002 by frontwoman Masha Scream and founding drummer Alexander Warlock, who were both members of the Dolgoprudny Slavic Neo-Paganism Society. Kolb is the band's 9th album, and the name Arcona refers to the last pre-Christianized Slavic city castle. So saith Wikipedia anyway. And from Britannica, Arcona is a West Slavic citadel temple of the god Swandovit, dating from the 9th to 10th century AD and destroyed in 1168/69 by Christian Danes when they stormed the island of Rügen in the southwestern Baltic. Saxo Grammaticus, the 12th century Danish historian, wrote that the Arcona was a wooden structure of consummate workmanship. Around the temple extended a yard, and around this was a wooden fence, splendidly carved and bearing various painted symbols.
Wow.
But I'm sure I'll do an episode on Arcona proper someday, probably like most of these bands. So yeah, they're typically a little more like folk metal.
Oh, yeah.
You
told me to check this one out, and traditionally that's where they kind of lie, but this one was definitely more black metal.
Yes, yeah, very black metal. There's almost no folkiness like at all besides like a flute once, and there's like and then the one track has like some humpa like rhythms. I don't know what to call it in Russia, but like humpa like in Finland is like the boom 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 doom 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 that kind of rhythm. So they do that on one of the tracks too, but besides that, like no folkiness. But It reminds me of Monogarm a lot, which is also one of my favorites. And that makes sense because Eric Grasso, I don't know how to pronounce Italian-sounding Swedish names. But yeah, Eric from Monogarm was a guest singer and composer on the track Namoi Zemle from Arcona's 2009 release Goi Road Goi, which also featured contributions from members of Obtest, Menhir, Skyforger, and Geidevok. Because Monogarm does that too, where they toe that line between like more melodic folkiness and more just like extreme kind of like blackened like death. So it makes sense that these bands kind of mingle around together and are kind of both exploring this more like black, like dark feel. But Masha Scream continues to push her vocal capability. She sounds truly awesome as ever. The album's themes of man's inability to rise above nature, of spiritual decay and disease, of nuclear war and annihilation come through in the music's extremely dark tone. And on any given day, I could swap this with what is today my number one choice, but we'll get to that. Either one of these could easily have been switched for me. But just for the sake of, the show, I went ahead and picked one. And I went ahead and put this at number 2, but you ask me tomorrow, I'll probably switch them. So that's my number 2. And that brings us to your number 1. Number 1?
Number 1, sir.
I am not a number.
What is your pleasure?
I am a Freeman.
That's my mother's maiden name.
Oh.
Yeah, they wrote that about her.
That's nuts. She must have been really sleazing around the band at the time or something. For them to be inspired to write that song about her.
She was number 1.
Yeah.
However, my number 1, Dope Lord, Songs for Satan.
Oh, yes.
Again, stonery doom metal,
Mm-hmm.
where most of my musical taste lies these days. I checked there's a thing going around I saw on Spotify. You can check your daily list. So I typed mine in the morning. It was just like heavy psychedelic stoner sludge fest to start your day. I was like, oh, that's nice. No wonder I'm always pissed off the whole day. But anyway, they're a nice little band out of Poland. The whole album, again, just starts out with Night of the Witch. Wow. I remember I played that here last time I was here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Night of the Witch.
Night of the Witch. Night of the Witch tonight. That's Ghost. I'm kidding, I know.
No, not Ghost. Night of the Witch, Chosen One.
Chosen
One. All of their albums are absolute hits, but they just keep progressing and getting better and better and finding their sound. And this one is I think is the heaviest Doom Ripper of all of them.
Doom Ripper.
Yeah. Can't call it Doom Slayer. That might be copyright.
Okay. Is that what you got for that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just listen to it. You'll see for yourself.
I'm not going to do a drum roll, but you can do a drum roll if you're watching or listening at home, or
don't do it. Don't entertain them.
Or if you're driving, you can do it on the steering wheel like I do. But my number 1, Van Rachnid's number 1 album of 2023, at least for today at the time of recording, is Blood Ceremony. The Old Ways Remain, released May 5th. Blood Ceremony. I plugged this album before whenever I bought it. I bought it late. I didn't get it in May. I think I got it in October or something. But anyway, Blood Ceremony is an occult rock band formed in Toronto in 2006. Blood Ceremony continues to put out gold, with a slight exception being their 3rd album, The Eldritch Dark, which wasn't necessarily bad, but it was mixed really weird in my opinion, and just overall a bit less heavy. It's just a slight departure from the first 2 albums. It would certainly go in the direction that they have continued to go, so it definitely captures that, but I don't know, it's just my least favorite. Anyway, the band was on quite a bit of a hiatus, seeing The Old Ways Remain as the first release since 2016's masterpiece, Lord of Misrule. I know that's one I play a lot. I'm sure you've heard a lot from that one. I love that album. The Old Ways Remain features more sweet pagan stuff, crushing, catchy riffs, and Alia O'Brien's signature trifecta of talent with her vocals, organ playing, and flute work on full display. One reason I gave this the edge for my number 1 pick over Arcona was because it features one of probably my favorite song of the entire year of 2023, which is a Hecate, which sounds like some like 70s like hippie rock or something. It's really hard to explain, but it's amazing. It makes me really happy. It's hard to explain. It's just really good. You have to listen to it. But just overall, it's just more of an amazing blend of folk rock and doom and then I say Jethro Tull, because everyone has to say Jethro Tull when they talk about Blood Ceremony, because there can't be a flute heavy rock composition without mentioning Jethro Tull. Apparently, that always annoyed me. I'm doing it as a joke, but like every article or like album review is like, oh, Jethro Tull influence. It's like, yeah, maybe a little bit, but just because she plays flute doesn't mean you have to mention Jethro Tull every fucking time. Just like how people would always like, anytime a new doom band comes out, it's like, yeah, there's some Sabbath influence.
It's like, no shit, because
you don't have to say that anymore.
Yeah, it's Void.
Yeah, it's just, it goes without saying. You don't need to say it anymore. Stop comparing them to Jethro Tull. Anyway, my history with Blood Ceremony goes all the way back to their 2008 self-titled debut, which sparked my love of and obsession with female-fronted occult rock and metal, alongside bands like one of my absolute favorites, The Devil's Blood.
Oh my god.
Blood Ceremony and its follow-up, Living with the Ancients, featured heavily in my rotation when I'd host Smash Alley, WIUP-FM's midnight to 2 a.m. metal radio program. I had a lot of fun with that. Yeah. So, if around like 2013 to 2012 to 2014, if you were living in Indiana, PA, and were listening to WIUP-FM 9.1 and from midnight to 2 a.m., then you probably heard me.
I was there, and I did not listen.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, that music, the same crap was blaring from my front porch while we were smoking cigarettes, breaking shit, and yelling at people.
Breaking bottles, throwing glass bottles at people.
Yeah. I think once I broke the bottle off the side of my porch and held it up as a knife. It was in defense.
Right.
One of my friends probably tried to start a fight that they couldn't finish.
Yeah. That's when the bottle daggers come out. We would get a lot of prisoners would call from like the local county jail. Especially like at that late hour for some reason. Like
they're allowed to just call.
I guess.
You were there before.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was in. That was like quarantine. The first 3 days you're in jail, which is all I was in there for. Well, I was supposed to be in there for 5. I think I was in there for 4. They let me out.
On good behavior.
Yeah. But after the first 5 days, they moved you to a proper cell block. So in quarantine, we were only allowed to make a call once a day, and then the phones would never work, and it was bullshit. But I don't know. Yeah. So maybe it's a little more lax depending on, again, behavior and stuff. And once you get into a proper block, but. Yeah, they'd always call, and it's like we're playing like Cradle of Filth, Blood Ceremony, Devil's Blood, fucking Amorphous, whatever the hell, and then someone's like, "Hey, keep playing some AC/DC." They would call in, and it's like, "Yeah, we'll get to that," and then just never play it.
Yeah, you're in jail. Fuck you.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? And also,
come fight me.
And also, can't you tell that we're not really playing AC/DC right now?
No, this isn't that kind of station.
No. At least not at this hour. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. The Old Ways remains an incredible return for Blood Ceremony, and I can only pray to the black goat below that they don't go another 7 years without another release. This, today at least, is Van Rachnid's 2023 album of the year, but only because I don't want to cop out and give them a tie with Arcona, which I was tempted to do. So there you go. So we got, for me, The Damned, Darkadelic, Calma, Friendship Commanders, Mass, Arcona, Cobb, and Blood Ceremony, The Old Ways Remain. I'm going to read your list one more time for the listeners there, watchers.
Here you go. Here's my top 5, and unlike his, mine are in no particular order because on any given day, one of these might be my number 1, it might be my number 5, it might be a 6. I don't fucking know.
Any given Sunday?
Yeah. I don't remember most Sundays. Enforcer, Nostalgia, Road Wolf, Midnight Lightning, Resin, Solace, Green Lung, This Heathen Land, Dope Lord, Songs for Satan.
Songs for Satan. Satan.
A lot of these too, I realized on my list, are all fairly new or recent bands. So why don't you go out and give them some support? Give it a listen.
Yeah.
These guys all kick ass, and give it a listen. Get some merch. Get a vinyl. I don't know, man. Go check them out live. If they're rolling through your city, you won't be disappointed.
Not at all. Big supporters on this podcast of supporting artists. So like Brendan said, yeah. I'm sure all these groups have band camps. Check them out. Get a thing. Buy a digital copy of something. Usually on Bandcamp, like there's like a small limit, and you can kind of like put, whatever price you want to pay on there. So even if you just toss them like $6 or something, do it. And yeah, always, especially with the industry climate today for music, a lot of bands definitely make the majority of their money from touring and from performing and from merch. So
they do, and they're even getting screwed over there because venues now want a cut of their merch.
Oh,
their
really?
Merch profits. Yeah,
I'm sure it depends on the
and
venue.
a majority of them do now. I've seen multiple times bands posting about it. They're like, sorry, we don't want to have to raise the prices on our merch, but these fuckers are trying to cutting in on it, and that's where we make our profits. So sorry, it's coming back onto you. Blame them.
Yeah. That's fucking bullshit, because aren't bands putting the money up front for the tickets anyway, like already, most of the time?
Well, at the same time, because you get a big band that comes there, they're the ones that are bringing all these people that are coming there. You got buying food. They're buying food. They're buying beer. They're, doing all this other shit, promoting it pretty much by telling people they're going there.
Yeah.
And then they still want more money. It never fucking ends.
That's ridiculous. That's unacceptable.
Never fucking ends.
Because they make so much fucking money on drinks too.
Yeah, because the drinks are already marked up by 200%.
Yeah.
Or more, probably way more. I don't know, because I don't work in that industry, but I know it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, they just have to get a little cut of everything they possibly can.
Of course. So, yeah, do support everybody. I know it's easy to just listen to stuff on YouTube or Spotify or whatever, or to get on like a blog spot and download stuff. But yeah, that's fine for like checking out new things. But
get a little taste.
But if you really like what you're listening to, please just do something.
Buy an album.
A shirt. Yeah,
an album, a shirt, a fucking pin, something. Let's get these bands to keep making music.
Hell yeah. We gotta look out for the industries that affect our lives on a daily basis and make us who we are. And I don't know who I'd be without metal in video games. It's pretty much the bulk of my personality.
An alcoholic.
Booze. Okay, so I got 3 pillars of my personality. Heavy metal, video games, booze. All right, so you don't have any honorable mentions, right? But
nah, I don't really.
Okay.
I didn't really come up with all that.
Yeah. I got some. I didn't do any write-ups for these, but
I see on your list there you have, if going negative, disappointments. And because I was very disappointed, and I saw on multiple websites for voting for best metal albums, year, Acid King's Beyond Vision kept coming up. I like Acid King.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Beyond Vision was so fucking boring.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Yeah. I like doom and stoner metal, obviously. You guys just heard my fucking list. That was insanely boring, and the only thing I can surmise is they won those votes based off just it was a fucking name recognition contest, because I even played it for my girlfriend, who also likes pretty much the same kind of music as me, which she was like, did the song change, or what? That sucked.
Yeah.
She likes Acid King too.
I know. I usually don't want to use this platform to go negative, but
No, I don't like to.
But it
bash
was underwhelming as shit.
I don't like to bash people, but
Right.
yeah, that was.
Again, don't get us wrong. We love Acid King, but that was just, I don't know. It was a little disappointing. Speaking of disappointing, I never got around to last year's Stone Jesus either, but I know the album that came out a few years ago, which was probably the one before their newest. I remember being extremely disappointed in that too.
Which one?
I can't remember what the album's called, but it's just, I feel like they're in a place where they're going to be perpetually underwhelming compared to Seven Thunder's Roar.
It's because it's a masterpiece.
Like you did too much good too quick, and now
Yeah. That album's a masterpiece. Everything else I've heard from them, I don't really care about. They have one song that I kind of like, Here Come the Robots, but it just sounds like he's saying, Here come the rabbits.
They're a Danish group.
Oh, The Harvest?
Pilgrims from 2018 was the one I was talking about. I remember being really underwhelmed with that. So Father Light came out last year, but again, that's one I haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet. I guess I got to do my due diligence and check her out.
Due dillies. So but 2012 Seven Thunder's Roar. If you're not familiar, listener, and you're liking the cut of our jib, then definitely check out.
It's like Agalloch. The Mantle after that. It's like, where can you go? Faustian Echoes is pretty good, though. I did listen to that again when you brought it up.
Oh, yeah.
That was really good.
That's so good. No, they had a lot of good stuff after the Mantle.
Yeah, but the Mantle is
the
Mantle.
Yeah, the Mantle is their masterpiece, but the one after that was it Ashes Against the Grain, I think. That one's awesome. Has like the crow on it,
yeah,
and like charcoal. That album's great.
Yeah, it's all good.
The Serpent,
but it's like
you
can't top it.
Yeah, no.
Even
you can't.
The other one we always talk about for the same thing is Missa.
Oh, Belfry. Yep.
How you can't top that.
Nope.
That whole album.
You guys blew your load in one album too hard.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, when you were talking about Resin's like vibe and you know, like what it's like to listen to them and listening to the full album and getting the peaks and the valleys and the dynamics of everything that's going on. I used to have a hard time with more drony stuff getting into it, and it was...
Yeah, I know, I forced you into it.
Yeah, but it was... Well, yeah, but it was also Messa's Belfry that opened me up to being more accepting of that kind of slower droniness, because even that album doesn't do it for very long. There's a couple of tracks that do it for like a couple minutes.
The first track on the album's like kind of 3 to 5 minutes of slowness, and then it comes in, which is a good intro to that kind of music. Because otherwise, you can be looking some doom stuff like that. You can be looking at 10 minutes until it kicks in. Like Sleep's Dope Smoker album.
Yeah,
you did not want to listen to until I gave you mushrooms and we blasted it at full volume in the middle of the night.
I get it now.
It blew your fucking mind. I was like, dude, I told you, this is awesome.
With bone in hand,
the Weedian Nazareth. Yeah, and they special released that vinyl again. I pre-ordered that shit.
I guess we did that a couple different times, didn't we? But I have talked about on the show before about us having our little trippy record nights.
Psilocybin record night.
It's a psilocybin freakout. Oh, just list off my honorables real quick, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. No particular order here for anything. Whatever. I think I started off going alphabetically, but anyway, Black Braid 2. I've talked about Black Braid on the show before. This like Native American dude from New York's solo project, black metal. Again, like a lot of like the themes about like nature and things that you would expect, a Native American to sing about. But it's also black metal, so there's like a lot of like sorrow and crap too. But anyway, really good. Grave Worm, another band that I've loved since I was a kid, all the way back to the one with the church on it, engraved in black. But yeah, they came out with Killing Innocents last year, and it's as Grave Worm as ever. It's really good. He's one of my favorite metal vocalists too. The guy that sings for them, he's really good. He does this thing on. I think it's the opening track of 2007's Collateral Defect. They just and he holds it out for like almost like 2 minutes.
Impressive.
And you can tell by like I think it's about 2 minutes from what I remember. You can tell after like the first like 45 seconds, it's just like really faint. But he's still holding it up,
pushing out air.
Yeah, but it's really awesome. He's great. So yeah, Grey Worm, Killing Innocents, Obituary, Dying of Everything, great album.
That was a good album.
It's really good. I feel like they're like the closest thing to like death that we have surviving, like the proper band Death. Obviously, they don't have the guitar virtuosity of Chuck, but outside of that, I feel like they're the closest to Death that we can still enjoy new material from. That's really good. Enforcer, Nostalgia, your number 5. That's on my honorables. It's really good. Biggest surprise to me this year was probably Heimdall by Enslaved. I've always been aware of Enslaved, never got super into them, but I bought that and it's really fucking good. It definitely blends styles. It's not just straight like black or death or anything. There's some some slower parts, some like I think jazzy parts going on. It's really hard to explain, but it's really good. Church of Misery, Born Under a Mad Sign, longtime Church of Misery fan as well. And Then There Were None is like my favorite one. But of course, you got the classic Master of Brutality and all that. But Born Under a Mad Sign is really good. A YouTube recommendation that popped up, and this is right up my alley too, as far as like my tastes. But they're called The Evil, and the album is 7 Acts to Apocalypse. And the singer, it has like an operatic singer, female singer, like symphonic stuff. But then the music's kind of like doomy black, and I love my female singers, especially maybe not especially, but including the operatic kind, like Nightwish and Diablo Swing Orchestra and everything. So that's really good. Check that out. Witch Piss is pretty good. That was just good stoner. And this is something my brother sent me the other week. It's like punky, it's heavy, it's metal. It was very punky though. But Godzilla was too drunk to destroy Tokyo, and the album is Evil Lord, and it's really good. And the last thing I'll mention is it's a band called Yagon, or Yagon. I assume Yagon, Yagon. The album is Beyond, and it was neat. It's like symphonic black metal, but it's a little melodramatic or something. I didn't like love it, but it's different, and it was good. So those are my honorable mentions.
I did have one that I forgot that I really liked. That could have made the list. Dozer from Sweden. Started back in the 90s. They had one came out this year. Drifting in the Endless Void. They have some that kind of like they have some absolute rippers that I love. Some of it can kind of teeter off for me, but this one came again with just some absolute hits that just fucking blast at full volume, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Makes me smile.
You make me smile. Cool. Another one, just one more that I never got around to checking out yet in time was the new Gamma Bomb. Gamma Bomb came out with Bats last year, and I haven't listened to that.
I haven't listened to that either.
Speed Between the Lines was the last Gamma Bomb I listened to, and that might be the last one. There might be, I think, there might be one in between that one.
Speed Between the Lines fucking rules.
6, 16.
Yeah.
Speed Between the Lines is a fucking terrific album. And of course, Tales from the Grave in Space.
I don't know why this is. Probably unrelated because I don't think they released an album this year. But have I ever gotten you to listen to Kryptos? Kryptos.
I don't think so.
They're from India. Like thrash speed metal. Dude, fucking so goddamn good. I didn't know that there was that kind of music coming out of there.
Mm-hmm.
They tour all over the place. Never see them here. Would love to. Yeah. They've been playing for a while, but I just never see them here for whatever reason because let alone come to the United States, or let alone come to Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
because everyone passes over Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
because the metal scene here sucks, where you could fill up an entire venue in another city. You get like 150 people here for a band that could sell a place out.
Mm-hmm. There's you, there's me, and there's the girl from work with the Sauron shirt on.
My brother.
Let's see what... Oh, there are some more here that I have. Oh, Dave Lombardo came out with Rites of Percussion, and I checked out some of it, and it was definitely neat. But I need to get back to that. It's like a, Dave Lombardo of Slayer. It's kind of like a solo album.
If you're listening to this, you know who Dave Lombardo is.
Yes. And it was definitely neat. The 2 tracks I figured out, that I checked out. But I got to check that out more. Dave Lombardo is one of my favorite drummers of all time. Evil came out with one.
Evil's good.
Mm-hmm. It's called The Unknown. Didn't get to check that out. Polka Dot Cadaver, which is the other project of the Dog Fashion Disco guy, which I'm a huge fan of. I don't think that's probably anything you've ever heard, but that's something that my brother got us into, when I was a kid. Whenever Grand Theft Auto 3 came out we had the PC version, and you could there was a channel, like when you would get into a car, the radio stations.
Yeah, I remember.
There was one that was just like MP3, and like you could put your own music files in. I don't know if it was actually part of the game or if my brother just did a workaround, because he put music into Diablo 2 too. He switched all the Diablo 2 music with Cradle of Filth, and that was amazing. But anyway, so like he just had a playlist in Grand Theft Auto 3 that you can get in, put that station on, just drive around listening to fucking Dog Fashion Disco and shit. Leper Friend, that's great stuff. It's very like Mr. Bungle influenced for sure, but that's really good stuff. Dryad sounded neat. I don't know anything about that, but I like the name. Uriah Heep is my dad's favorite band. They came out with one last year, but they only have like one original dude left. Oh, they're coming around too this year sometime. I might go with my dad to that. Danova, cousin Jamie has told me about Danova.
Danova's good.
They're good. Yeah, they came out with one last year I didn't check out. Unearth came out with a new one. I haven't heard about them since I was a kid. And that's about it. Yawning Man, I know of. They came out with one, Long Walk of the Navajo. But also I didn't check that out. But if you want to beat me to it, listener, you can check those out. Those are things that were on my radar that I didn't get to. So I doubt any of those would take over any of these spots in my top 5. So I figured it was fine to not get to checking them out in time for this episode. So that's it. Anything else? You ready to wrap this shit up?
Yep.
Oh, nice. There's some kind of a member going through 2 floppy chest things. It's a dick between tits. Nice doodle. All right. Well, B-Man, thanks for joining me for this. Nice to have you back.
Always good to be back, Jay.
The listeners have been clamoring for your return.
I'm sure.
I get endless emails about it. When's B-Man coming back? That Mac guy seems neat, but fuck him. Where's Brendan,
Yeah. You and everyone else.
Nobody can get enough beaming. So that's it. I'm Jesse Van Rachnid, joined again by B-Man here, and V Rachnid on Twitter. I don't really post anything. Jeffy Juice Instagram. Don't really post anything. Not much to see. Well, yeah, and again too, there's the Spotify page if you want to listen to some of the music that we discussed in this episode. I will be putting up a Spotify playlist under All Abandoned Pod, so check that out if you are so inclined. And if you're listening to this podcast at all, then I assume you might be at least slightly inclined. So there you go. All right, everybody, this is All Abandoned, a rock and metal podcast. Thanks for listening, and go fuck yourself. All Abandoned, a rock and metal podcast, a product of Jolly Jelly Media, is proudly recorded in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. All Abandoned is written, edited, and produced by Jesse Van Rachnid. The opening theme music was written by Matthew Van Horn and was recorded by Matthew Van Horn, Anthony Capozzi, and Nicholas Petruniak. You can write into the show by email at jollyjellymedia@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.